This man likes potatoes. We make money with potatoes. Therefore, we're going to bury his entire existence in potatoes. We've got so many potatoes, we need more land. Then we're just going to go ahead and borrow from a neighbor's state. They probably won't miss it, it's just land. The faster I click, the more I make. So, +5 magic potions. We'll feed them to the peasants to see what they do. Oh, well it turns out if I want to use the potions, we get a comrade boost times 7,777 for 20 seconds. I don't want to boost these guys, I want to make them earn their potatoes. And these guys thought they had it before. They've never seen anyone anything like me. Because if the people working for you are smiling, they're not working hard enough. But we don't have enough misery yet, so we need more farmers. We need lots of farmers. More farmers equals more potatoes equals more suffering equals more farmers. We've done so much grade A communist farming that we've unlocked the bronze potato medal for 5 potions. The next upgrade costs 13,230 already. Luckily I'm lazy and have an auto clicker, so we're gonna get there really quick. Yeah, after that the upgrades start to get pretty expensive, but we're getting 343 potatoes a click so far, so I can live with this. And we all know there's only 3 things that matter in life: potatoes, land, and ore, the building blocks of great empires. Unibrow even confirms it. If we grow enough glory, you can buy more prestigious industries. What could be more glorious than potatoes? And they say I lack vision. 2,400 potatoes per click, and it's still gonna be a little while before we hit the 6 million we need. But we get a free 1 farmer per second and 1 comrade per second. Ooh, these guys really look like they're not going to enjoy things. Farmer comrade's not even smiling already. Let's put him to work. We earned a bronze medal from exploiting that guy's hard work, but we're just going to keep making him work and work and work pretty much until he dies. Then we'll replace him with a younger, better worker. And we'll repeat the process until no one's left. These communists really have it figured out. We've already got 140,000 ore. So we're going to bump that number up to about 400,000, upgrade that, and then move on to weapons. Every communist deserves some good weapons. Now he's happy again. Yeah, just think about all the fun stuff you could do with that. Between the weapons and the potatoes, these guys are in for a good time. I don't know if I should give them more bullets or more potatoes. It's a little bit hard to decide. I'm not entirely sure yet what buying workers actually does, but I assume it's something good. And at the very least, I just get to own people, and that's always a lot of fun. Medicine? Well, what's the point of all the misery I'm gonna do then? If we can just fix the people, there's no point in doing this. Unless we can make enough money off of medicine to buy more resources to hurt more people and make more money all at the same time. Okay, so to upgrade our little farm, we need to buy a commune, which means we need 100,000 lands and 1,000 cowboy hats. The land won't take too long at all, provided those things stop popping up and annoying me, but we're already there. 100,000 lands, now we just need 1,000 cowboy hats. Oh, those are the farmers that have to go to work there. We just need 1,000 farmers. 1,000 farmers to run our commune. Not so much run it as mostly just die there, but whatever the case, we're gonna do it. I've always wanted my very own commune, and now I have one. Things might get expensive fast. If I want a collective, I need 1.00 E plus 0.12. But I've got time if you do, and we know that he definitely does. Our great empire at the moment is producing 5 comrades a second, so we need to get those numbers up. So while I'm thinking about how to do that, I'm just going to click on a bunch of things. We just crossed the 2 million potato mark, and that's 2 million more potatoes than I thought I would be harvesting today. But we're finally ready for our next upgrade to our potatoes, so we're going from 2,401 to 16,800 per click. That's a huge boost. 4 times the potatoes for 4 times the suffering. Then we'll do the same with the land, so we're going to go from 216 per click all the way up to 1,300 per click. Then only 7 million go to the next upgrade. Next upgrade is another 6 times, so 7,700 lands per click. Think of all the potatoes we could grow with all this land. And then we're gonna need some ore to give these guys some trusty tools to run their lives with. I think if we upgrade our ore, we'll be able to unlock miners. We get 1,000 of those, we'll be able to get a blasting site, and that sounds wildly dangerous and probably pretty profitable. And there we are, 8.3 million ores brutally mined out of the ground. It's the workers from the land that we need. So as soon as we buy some of these guys, we'll be able to afford the blasting site. Then we'll lose some workers, probably, but then we'll keep making progress elsewhere. And there we go, 1 blasting site for us. So basically, these upgrades are the auto miners. So now every few seconds, we're getting 2 extra farmers. That's slowly going to drive this number up and up and up. So that's how it works everywhere. The more we work down, the more things are automatically going to mine themselves, so I don't have to do this. This doesn't sound that bad, but that noise doesn't sound very good through headphones. But I definitely want more land workers, so I'm going to buy at least 1 more blasting site, 2. So that's at least up to level 5 now. Make that level 6, so we're getting 6 workers every 11 seconds automatically. The next upgrades obviously are going to take a little longer to get to. So while we're waiting, we're going to farm potatoes 16,807 at a time while looking at that man's very happy face. So my strategy is to sit here and mine this until we have the 1,000 farmers we need for the next upgrade. Then we're going to repeat the process process until we have an empire. A beautiful empire of pure suffering potatoes. Are you ready? No more potatoes. We're gonna buy 1,000 farmers and we only need 10 comrades, so there we go. +1 to the commune. So now instead of making 2 farmers every 5 seconds, we're making 3. That, ladies and gentlemen, is communism at its finest. We bought ourselves 15 miners, so that means we're able to also buy things like a mine, which is obviously pretty expensive, but we're gonna need one. 100 million potatoes, 100,000 ammos, and 1,000 miners. But since that's expensive, I'm going to assume it's worth it, so let's get back to mining 100 million potatoes. 100 million potatoes. Now we need 100,000 bullets plus the workers. And that's not actually that bad. That's already 100,000 bullets because at 125 a click at that speed, fast. And we don't yet have what we need for the workers for the miners yet, but it'll only take a few more seconds. Okay, but then buying all the miners took away from my other resources, so now I'm going to need to get those back before I can buy whatever it is I was just about to buy. The mine. Just like that. 1 mine. Now we're making 2 of these guys every 14 seconds. It's a very slow process so far, but we'll get there. Because I'm getting restless, we're going to hit the potato button. So we're going to get times 7,777 potatoes for 20 seconds. Did it work already? Yeah, there we go. We're getting 130 million potatoes. Oh, that's how it's supposed to work. I kind of wish we could just keep it at these numbers the entire time. But we earned enough for a few upgrades. Now we're getting 117,000 per click, 823,000, 5.7 million potatoes per click. That makes a little more sense. I was wondering why things were going so slowly. I was just gonna blame it on this guy because, well, look at him. So we should probably do the same for the land just to make sure we're getting adequate amounts of everything, and also remembering to hit the upgrade button every time it shows up. And that's going to boost us even further ahead because now we're getting, I don't know, a whole lot of land. That's all that really matters to me. Big numbers. The next upgrade seems to be so far away that the meter is not even moving. But we're getting 60 million per click. I hope I'm not wasting things by doing this. But now we're going to get extra comrades. There we go. If we want to buy a collective, we already have enough land. We'll need some more potatoes somehow, but the land we're there. And also, I'm not really sure how far away the next upgrade is because I don't understand these numbers. Well, we still got 100 scientists left to sacrifice, so let's do some ore. Or off you go. Upgrade 1, upgrade 2, upgrade 3, upgrade 4. They definitely get further and further apart the higher you go. But this will boost us ahead in our ore count. Well, we'll leave it here at 10 million ores per click. Next up, we're going to do weapons because we're just going to go through all of these because I assume that's going to help us out in a big way. Didn't make it nearly as far with our missile wielding friend, but we're up to 390,000 per click, so I'm not going to complain. Medicine. Really don't want to give these people too much medicine, but I guess if the doctor looks like that, then they're in pretty bad hands. Okay, cool. Just eat up my 20 seconds. That's fine. Well, there's 390,000 medicines per click, which is more medicines than I'm ever going to give anyone ever. Well, I'm thinking about my next move. I'm going to buy 1,000 miners so I can buy another mine. Then I should probably also start buying some soldiers and people for medicine. That way we can unlock some of this stuff. We definitely need a fire team, and all I need is more workers. It is going to cost 10 million potatoes and 10 million land, but I feel like we can afford that. Our most expensive buy yet. 1 fire team. I don't know what that is. I just like the sound of a fire team. And that's going to get me 16 potions. And let's buy some nurses. Are we out of money for nurses already? Well, whatever the case, we're just going to keep upgrading whatever we can, whenever we can. So next, we're going to try and buy enough communes, the tents, so that we can buy a collective. Because to buy one of those, we need 1,000 communes. So that in theory, if we need 1,000 of these, we need 1,000 of these. 1,000 million potatoes, 1,100,000 lands, and that's going to take a little while. Oh, unless we spend 10% of our fortune on 156,000 farmers, and I've spent more on this. I can at least buy 156 communes, and I feel like that's a pretty good start, but we need more farmers again. So let's click this that many times, then we're going to buy as many communes as we can, which is 381. So we have 541 total now, but we're getting 541 idiots every 10 seconds. Now things are finally starting to work automatically. Every 5 seconds, 541 farmers here, which is a valuable resource. I don't want to spend all my money creating more. I want them to be made automatically. So maybe just a few 100,000 more farmers. Then another 200 communes, that puts us up to 739 of those, which means before you know it, we'll have enough for the collective, except for those damn potatoes. But I figure if I just leave this here for a couple minutes, we'll maybe get to where we're going. A few minutes later, my potato problem remains unfixed. So let's add some scientists to the mix, times 7,777 again. Now we're making big progress. We're making much more progress than we were before. Stupid amounts of potatoes. Currently we could buy another 49 of these. As that thing touches down, another 50. So we're getting an extra 1 every 5 seconds. While I'm waiting on potato related things, I'm going to spend 10,000 of my land on workers. That way I can buy 7 blasting. Well, I'm just going to buy a bunch of blasting sites. I need this number to be going up too while I'm waiting. All right, let's buy our 1,000 tents we need. Now we can get 1 collective. And we're also back to getting only 6 hats every 6 seconds. So we're going to have to bump that number back up again. And then to unlock the next thing, the plantation, we need 1,000 collectives plus a whole bunch of potatoes and land. Well, for right now, I'm going to buy 340,000 farmers, which is pretty expensive, but then I'm going to buy some more communes again, just so we can start producing some farmers again. Because at least now we're getting 1,408 every 6 seconds. Let's get the same working on their land tab. We're going to buy 170,000 workers, which means I can buy 173 blasting sites. So that's going to put us up to 510 every 12 seconds. That's going to be a big one. And I think we might as well do the same here with the miners. It's going to cost us, you know, 1 billion potatoes, 168 million land mass, but whatever. I think that's probably worth it because now we can buy 39, 42. We can buy a bunch of mines. That number is actually going up pretty quick. And that number is going to jump up quicker and quicker every time we buy it. We buy another 52 and it's going to go up by 4s now. And it doesn't even matter that they cost 5.8 billion potatoes every time we buy them because I've got that much. But every time we need the basic workers for each of these industries, they get more and more expensive. Like to buy 1,400 soldiers, it's going to be 158 million potatoes, but 1,600 comrades. Those are pretty expensive. But once you upgrade it a few levels, it starts to produce the soldiers or units themselves. So then you just go in back here to buy some more, and then you just go back and forth clicking until you're rich. And then if you get restless, you can increase all your industries by 777 times for 20 seconds. So if we do that, our potato numbers are going to jump through the roof for a second, and then we'll be able to quickly get some more upgrades. At least fairly quickly. Things are still pretty expensive because, well, things are just expensive. But the communes are going up quickly. Look how quickly we're able to afford these, and every time we click on it, it's going to go faster and faster. And over at our excavator, man, we're up to 530 units every 10 seconds, which still isn't great, but it's getting up there. And somehow along the way, we managed to start producing 53 comrades a second. So this guy's never going to be lonely. Not that he has the time. He has to spend his entire existence farming as many potatoes as possible. So in essence, the more we click this, the bigger this number gets, the bigger all the other ones are going to get, because that's going to increase the production rate. So I'll see you guys in a while. Well, that didn't take long at all. We can buy almost 10,000 new communes, which means we're going to be making 53,000 now. But we're really still limited by the number of comrades we can have, so we need to boost that number. Scientists, do your thing. Times 7777 for 20 whole seconds. So now if we spend all our money on communes, we're being limited by the hats themselves. Luckily, they do make themselves back pretty quick, and that number is going up quite a bit faster than it was before, jumping from 195 to 261 just like that. So from 1 all the way up to 66, because it's going to give us 66,000 hats every single time it touches down. And back at our excavator friend, we can definitely upgrade that, so that's giving us 744, 746 every rotation, and this one's up to 442. There we go, we're up to 86,000 of those every one of those, and then 21,000 tents, which means that if I spend half of my tents on these guys, we can have 14, and now we're going to get 28 of these every rotation. So before you know, we'll have 1,000 of those and enough for our very own plantation. So also interestingly, for every collective I buy, it boosts this number, which is actually this number. So the more of these I have, the more base units I'm going to get, which in turn means I can upgrade this even more. So everything builds a beautiful little cycle. Basically, I just need more everything. Also, to buy more communes, I'm going to need more land. So at 60 million a click, we're going to add up pretty quick, but it's still not moving towards the next upgrade. Regardless, I'm going to be pretty rich when it comes to land. That's a little bit better. If we have 13,000 tents, we should be able to buy 13 collectives. But let's split this right now. Let's spend half of our resources on 6 collectives, and then that's going to help this number grow all by itself without me having to babysit it. And because we're just going to need land, let's spend another of these 10 potions on land. Even now, look how slow that upgrade is. I don't think we're even going to get to the next level. Not even close, but we probably did get a little bit more land. Things definitely start to slow down a little bit when you're trading in 254,000 pretty basic units for a minor upgrade. It's not even close to affording the next one, let alone the next 3 after that. I guess there's no point in holding on to these potions. Let's boost everything by 777 times for 20 seconds. That's going to help things move along pretty nicely. Then if we buy some of those, that'll help that number go up again. We'll do it one more time. That upgrade should pay for itself then. And I saw something about Comrade Glory over here, so now we're making more comrades than ever before. That's an extra 5 farmers a second. Wow, look how big this number got. Probably because we have this many farmers. Well, let's go ahead and spend all those farmers on 783,000 communes, which should be okay because we're making them back that quickly. And then we can still only buy 20 collectives because we're limited by the comrades. But we can start with 54 for now, because that's going to help this guy up here move faster, because we're getting 154 tenths every time that touches down now. So let's go ahead and load back up on comrades. Just 5 potions for a time 7,777. So now that number is going to jump way up, and we can spend it more on things like collectives. That's a little better. If we spend 50% on collectives, we get plus 5 comrades a second, plus this number is now going to go up by 1,596 every rotation. So this is going to grow by itself pretty quickly at this point. We're also over halfway to what we need for our plantation, which is 1,000 of these guys. We have 532 plus some extra potatoes. I mean, the potatoes are easy. All we need to do is click on that and then this. And we might even hit our next upgrade, which will be great because you can never have too many potatoes. Not when it comes to these comrades. So now we're getting this many potatoes per click. So while we're at it, let's spend 50% of our fortune on another 290,000 communes, which is going to push that number way up. And then if we play the 50% game again, spending these units to buy these, we'll now get 2,700 of those every cycle. So those pay for themselves pretty quickly, but we're almost up to the 1,000 we need here. Eventually we'll be making things like the hives, which will give me plantations, which will give me these guys, which will give me communes. In fact, let's push into it right now. There we go. And we're getting plus 2 collectives a second, so that's kind of helpful. And 20 more potions because I'm so good at potatoes. But wow, I actually still can't afford the next upgrade because I somehow still don't have enough potatoes despite this being a thing. Well, I guess these potions aren't going to spend themselves. Hopefully this pushes me up to the number I need. That does seem to have done it, but I'm a little concerned now at how many raw potatoes we're going to need to accomplish anything at all at this point. And I don't think I want to buy a plantation quite yet because that's going to use up 1,000 of these, which is providing me 5,000 of these every few seconds. So let's let these pile up a little bit first. I've amassed a little bit more, so I'm going to buy another 400 collectives, and that's going to push that number up to 7,000 every cycle. So I think now that we can afford to buy ourselves another 193,000 of these, we can feel comfortable enough to spend 50% more on these. So now we're going to get 8,800 every cycle. Let's finally commit and buy a plantation. That was really expensive, but the fact that it's going to give me 3 of these guys every minute is actually huge. Those 3 are very expensive by themselves. And then a hive is only going to take 1,000 plantations, so we'll be there before you know it. You know what? Since we have a plantation activated right now and we still got potions, let's go ahead and boost it by 777 times for 20 seconds. Because look at it boost this number up. Now that's up to over 1,300 already, and that's boosting this number up here, which is going to trickle back down. But whatever we just did also kind of ran us out of comrades. We're making 82 a second, but we're going to need more than that to be able to do anything. So let's do a comrade boost, and then we're going to do the potato thing again, because there's something satisfying about watching these numbers go up. We had an extra 6 farmers a second and 4 communes a second. This number is well over 2,000 now, so we could even buy another plantation if we wanted to. That is if we had more potatoes. Even as fast as I can make them now, this would take a really long time to get to the number we need. Unless I touch this thing, then we'll get to the number we need before you know it. And we did it, but let's just go a little bit further. The important thing to note here with all our resources is how much this number is going to go up. 1 plantation equals an extra 3 of these, but that's actually huge because these guys are expensive. While we're at it, we should probably buy this many this things. I'm sure that's going to have a good use over a little bit of time, but I think we're going to need to take some time to stockpile more potatoes, despite the fact we've already mined this much. I don't know how many zeros that is, but I'll probably put it in the thumbnail.